Oh, shoot. This is not one of those videos. Here we go. How's it going, sir?
Hey, what's up with your fam? How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing well, doing well. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, honored to have you on the live, man. I appreciate you taking time to do this interview with Stop Beefing Radio. To get started, can you tell the fans and listeners who you are and where you from?
Yeah, my name is Rommel Good, a.k.a. Rorshax. I'm over here in Leavenworth County, Kansas.
Okay,
Yep.
dope. So what made you decide you wanted to get into the music industry and pursue this as your career?
All right, so this is going to take a while.
Okay, take your time.
So I've always loved music, but I came from like a religious family.
Okay.
So I wasn't really allowed to listen to anything until like fourth grade. And then fifth grade, I got into heavy metal, like thrash metal, Metallica, Megadeth, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get into hip hop until like 2011. I started listening to Immortal Technique, Diabolic, those dudes.
Okay.
And then, yeah, and then so a few years later, I heard the rapper that changed my whole perspective on hip hop, Canibus.
Wow. Okay, that's big praise. Okay, shout out Canada.
Oh yeah. So the way that it was kind of like was like, you know, I was from heavy metal where everything's like da-dan, 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 and
Yeah.
you don't really get a break or anything.
Right.
And when I talked to Canibus, when I met him in person in LA, that's what I told him. I was like, I don't know if it's just because like I'm so used to heavy metal that your style just like hits with me.
Yeah, 'cause it's
But I was like, yeah. He just goes bah, 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 bah. I mean, Mike Club is my favorite album by him.
Okay.
It's just, yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much how it happened. And like, or like how, to answer your question, like what made me want to get into rapping, like get into the music industry, it was never intended for me.
Okay.
I was trying to help my friend.
Got you. Yeah.
And so I was just there to be like a support system.
Yeah.
Well, that friend had a lot of stuff going on and it's not quite, you know, like ready to do it yet.
Got you. He wasn't
And then,
serious. Yeah.
right. So I have another friend. He's a rapper over here in Kansas City. His name is Coy.
Okay.
And he already has like an album out. He did a lot of videos and stuff like that. And his rhythm is incredible. Like the way that he makes music is incredible. Totally different than mine.
Gotcha.
But like, man, it's so admirable. It's like the way that his mind works and the rhythm that he puts it together.
Yeah.
So I talked to him and I was telling him about my other friend and he was like, man, you know what? If you got something, just put it together. Let's go to the studio. So then what happened was, so I was working as a correctional officer at USP Leavenworth.
Yeah, I seen that. Okay. That's
Oh
different.
yeah. We're going to get to that.
Yeah.
So what happened was I broke my ankle and I was out for like 3.5 months, maybe 4. I don't remember.
Okay.
But like while I was on there, when I came off of the hydrocodone, oh man, that hydrocodone hit me so hard.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Got you.
So yeah, because like I'm a pretty like straight laced guy. Like I don't drink, I don't do drugs or anything like that.
Got you.
I'm a libertarian. Y'all do what you want. I just don't think it's right for me.
Yeah.
But that stuff hit me so hard. Like I would cry when I was happy. I would cry when I was sad. It was ridiculous, man. So when that stuff wore off, then I would just sit there. I had nothing better to do. So I would just continue to write rhymes.
Yeah.
So once I was able to like clear from the doctor to like put weight on my foot and start like walking around with a cane, I got with Coy and we got a date and we went over to Simpson Sound Lab. We
Okay.
scheduled with them. And I just went in there and I recorded Filthy Buck 50.
Oh wow, that was your first one then. Okay.
First one ever. Yeah. And so what's funny about that is because I was so new. Oh, I made this, by the way. Come and take it.
I like that. That's dope. Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to take my games. All right. So I was so new. I thought I went in there with like 36 bars or something like that straight.
Right.
But I didn't know how to count bars.
Down them.
It turns out it was like almost 80. We tacked on a few more later on, but like to make it 80.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun, man. And so then that one like got a lot of positive feedback from my circle, like my inner circle.
Yep.
Like nobody believed that I was gonna run in there and just drop a track and it'd be good.
They just thought you were going to go in there and be, you know, one of the homies that walked in there. But it's interesting you say that because, you know, you said Immortal Technique and Canibus is where you kind of got your love for the game. So that 50, it makes sense why you're so bar conscious and you know, you're really about your punchlines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And with you having a religious family, as you said, did it make it harder for you to get into the industry? You know, because a lot of families that are very religious, they don't want their families getting into entertainment or, you know, doing that type of stuff. So for you, was it, did they have any pushback for you, or were they all supportive of it?
Oh no, well they're all supportive, but they're really nervous.
Mm.
You know, so you know, I mean, I didn't really like. There's a lot of like things that I just don't do because I wasn't religious until I was like 20 years old when I became Christian.
Yeah.
So like,
Salute.
so like that. So then that's what's been keeping me straight and sane and honestly like out of prison.
Yeah.
So so I am like still operating myself, saying what I want, what I believe, and everything. And I work over there with Crumbzilla over at Roger That Records. He gave me full permission to say whatever I want. What a blessing.
Yeah.
So I love that man for it. So yeah, I mean, like they're all supportive, but like what's funny is that and this is another thing that I told like M-Eighty was, you know, like Canibus, I'm really into conspiracy theories, and so is he.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why I'm so drawn to him.
Yeah.
But like the fact that I don't know Canibus that well. I only met him one time. And I was there for like 8 hours or so.
Yeah,
But like I imagine like him being into conspiracy theories, he's very cautious.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know?
Say nothing. Yeah.
Right. So if he's working with M-Eighty,
yeah,
then M-Eighty must be a good guy to work with.
Yeah.
That's why I got in contact with M-Eighty, and it turns out like he's a great guy to work with. Super chill, man.
Yeah.
I got a song with him too. We can talk about that.
Yeah, it's really dope that you mentioned the song with M-Eighty because, you know, M-Eighty is a legend. Shout out to him. And he hasn't been dropping music recently, you know what I mean? So you got some bars out of him. What was it like working with M-Eighty? Because, you know, he's a lawyer, you know, industry connected, and all that, but his wordplay and all that is dope as hell too. His punchline game is serious too. So your styles kind of mesh a little bit. So what was the experience for you?
Okay, so starting off with M-Eighty, being the fact that he's so like accredited, like as a lawyer and everything, was like exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
I know I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but for the song "Fasten Your Seatbelt," I honestly thought I was gonna get sued.
Okay.
And so talking to M-Eighty, I started off with consultation, and then where I was like, he was like, "Come on, man, let's do this," and I was like, "Yeah, let's go, man." Bam.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so working with him is he's very accessible.
Yeah.
He may not like it that I'm saying this, but he's a very nice man.
Yeah.
He's very polite. Just don't give him any bullshit.
Yeah.
I think he knows I'm a little bit out of my mind. And so he's very patient.
Yeah.
You know, it was funny. So I hired him for the consultation, and he was like, "Yeah, hey, look, this could take like 90 minutes." I was like, "Okay." 10 minutes into it, I was like, "Hey guys, like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know what questions to ask you."
Yeah.
I was like, "Can I get back to you?" And they're like, "Yeah, call us tomorrow." So that was with M-Eighty and Crumbzilla, and so I called him back the next day after I watched interviews with him on YouTube and stuff like that. I was like, "Oh, okay," because I had no idea what I was doing.
Gotcha.
Nothing.
Yeah.
All I know is that I like to write rhymes, and I just love doing it, and like have the hard beats and stuff.
Like you said, you didn't really start in this, you know, a long time ago. This is brand new for you, but you quit your job over it. Like what was that experience, you know, when you finally decided that, you know, in order for me to pursue this dream that God's telling me to do, you know, I mean, it's calling me to do it, I got to step away from my 9 to 5 and walk away from this guaranteed money and everything I've been working for all my life. Like, how was that for you making that decision, and how has it been since you made that decision?
All right, so I am one of the most impulsive people that I've ever met.
Gotcha. Yeah, to quit your job, that's it. Salute.
Oh yeah. So I could give you like a series of things. Me and my friends go over this sometimes. Big shout out to Lance Rawlings.
Okay.
He helped me with like finance, like part of this album.
Dope.
There's been like a lot of issues. So like I'm into cryptocurrency and stuff like that. So like I had a lot of money in Celsius. And then Celsius declared bankruptcy. So I got like I got Ethereum in there that I can't even touch.
Yeah.
I'm really excited, man. Could you repeat the question?
I was saying, what's it like since you made that decision to leave your
Oh
job?
yeah.
That's a major thought. I'm gonna walk away from my job today because I'm gonna pursue my dream. So what was going through your mind when you were thinking about doing that, and what has it been like since you finally made that decision? Sometimes you got to just jump and pursue that dream. So for you, what has it been like since you did that decision?
All right, so here's how it happened. So USP Leavenworth, the easiest money I've ever made in my life.
Right, right.
But and there's so many positives that go along with great pay, benefits, like the work to pay ratio is amazing.
Yeah.
But then it's like there's a lot of negativity that comes in there. I don't want to like name names or anything, but like there's a lot of negativity from all ends, not just inmates.
Yep.
And I felt like it was like tearing apart my soul, and I was becoming someone that I didn't like and like I didn't want to be. Like there's so much hate, like I would go to bed angry, just thinking like hateful things all the time.
Yeah, so it was kind of like a cleansing spirit to leave your
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so leaving the job doing that was like a blessing because I'm no longer that pissed off all the time.
So
but at the same time it's like lonely and depressing. And like I started putting on weight, man. So I mean, there's a trade-off to it.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned that with doing that, you also had the chance. Not only is Canibus one of the first artists you listened to and you aspired to be with, but you had the chance to work with Canibus. Like he is on your project with you, and it wasn't just some send me a verse. No, you actually got to fly in and meet him. So first off, what's it like when you got to meet him since you're such a fan of his? And then what's it like to know, or how are you feeling now to know you have a song that's dropping with him on it, and you guys are going bar for bar? What'd you say, like 200 bars combined or something like that?
200, yeah. A total of 200 bars. We each do 100 bars. The whole track is 9 minutes and 24 seconds long. All right.
Yeah.
So what was it like? So I flew out to meet him less than a month after I quit my job. So I was still like in a negative mind state.
I got you.
And I'm naturally like a pessimistic person. I try to be positive. I want to be a good dude and like be a positive influence in society.
Right.
When people hear my music, they may think otherwise. I don't know.
Gotcha.
We're gonna find out November 11th when it comes out.
Yeah.
But when I was flying to when I was flying to LA to meet Canibus and M-Eighty, he was there too.
Yep.
I also met Kali Ranks, Body Bag Ben, Iron Cheek. I'm probably forgetting some. Forgive me, guys.
A lot of people.
Yeah. So my sister asked me, "Are you excited?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah, just another office. Yeah.
No, I was full of fear. I was like, not fear, but like dread. Because they always say, don't meet your idols. You know what I mean?
I got you.
And so going over there, I had no idea if Canibus and I were going to get along. I had no idea. But dude, let me tell you, when I showed up, M-Eighty scooped me in. He was great. He went over to Canibus and he was like, yo, Bis, 100 bars. And Canibus was like, 100 bars? Yo, you must be out of your mind, man. And he came over and gave me like a big hug. We started showing each other like the cars that we're building. Like he had a really nice Camaro. It was yellow, roll cage, all that stuff. We had so much in common. Dope. And it was just overall such a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
The Canibus is such a good dude, man. We were all felt welcomed and everything. He told us a whole bunch of stories. Got to answer questions, autographs, all that stuff, man. And going 100 bars with him. So here's how it happened.
Yeah, because he don't do that with anybody. So you got like a special experience on this verse.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So so how it happened was I was talking to M-Eighty, and I was like, hey, he already knew I was a huge fan of Canibus because like when we were doing our consultation, I didn't even talk about me. I talked about Canibus and how much I loved him.
Oh.
So then I talked to him and I was like, hey, I'm sitting here writing out what's about to be 100 bars. At the time, I think I was at like 76.
Okay.
I don't remember the number, but it was close. It was like 76. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna do 100 bars. Like, you think you can like put together a pricing to have like Canibus do like an intro and an outro based off of, you know, my favorite album, My Club. He had
Okay.
a song Curriculum 101 where it says, if you got 100 bars, then I know you're a warrior. So I was like, hey, let me just like have his blessing on this 100
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah.
And so he's like, he paused, like, and he could tell he was thinking, and he's like, let me get back to you.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here in this chair, man. I was playing Call of Duty,
Okay.
and like they called me and they were like, not only is Canibus is gonna give you a 100 bar feature that he's never done, because I went, oh, sorry, I messed this up. So I was on the M-Eighty, I was on with M-Eighty, and I was like, I can do this 100 bars, and he was like, thinking about it. I was like, hey, let me finish the 100 bars. I'll have it out for you tomorrow,
Right.
and then you tell me. So then I sent it out to him noon the next day, and then at 6 p.m. the next day, I'm sitting here playing Call of Duty with some of my friends, and he's like, yo, Canibus loved it. He's going to give you 100 bar features, and we want you to come out to L.A. I was like jumping out of this recliner, man. I didn't know what to do. I almost broke this whole couch. Now I can't even afford to buy another one, like, so I had to be careful.
Right. But no, that's an amazing experience. Like you said, you know, God makes things happen that you wouldn't imagine. Like, you didn't believe when you left your job that, you know, you didn't know what was going to happen. You just knew you had a calling to it. And then M-Eighty, you know, with your relationship with him, opened up the door to not just meet Canibus, but meet Canibus with open arms. Meet Canibus.
Yeah.
In a way that you're already part of the fam, like they don't, because you came in, you know, through M-Eighty. So I salute you on that. And, you know, it says a lot about you for your punchlines, because right now we're in a society where everything's a cancel culture. So do you ever get hesitant about some of the stuff you're going to put out there, in fear or in hesitation?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it might get
Oh,
kicked.
yeah. Yeah. So one of them was like on Filthy Buck 50 early on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that video is everything. I'm making it myself. It's actually pretty good for what it is.
Okay.
It's going to be coming out Friday. Oh, man, I had to buy a new computer because the old one I had couldn't run the software. So what could have been done in 2 days had took like 3 days just to get like 35% of the way done.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I can't do this, man. Bought a new computer. It's just a breeze now.
Yeah,
so that's coming out. But yeah, I had a line on Filthy Buck 50. Can I spoil it? You want me to say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I had on Filthy Buck 50, I said, I was born a race mixin', which used to be illegal, but my ass is so American I could keister a bald eagle. And I'll have all your brains splatter on this release. Even Black Lives Matter will scream, call the police.
Yeah, I heard that line, so that's why I was asking you. Like that was
Yep. Yeah.
line, but yeah.
Yeah. So I don't mean it like any disrespect. It's just like a shock because they wouldn't call the police.
Yeah.
But it's my mom's so mind blowing that they're gonna scream it. That's all it is.
Yeah. No, I love it.
And then,
though, because when you're spitting 100 bars, you're gonna say some stuff out there, double entendres and all that. So I salute you as an artist to be willing to do that. You know what I mean? And for you, how important are punchlines and bars? Like you said that it's what you came up on, but for you as a fan, when you hear an artist, how important is it for them to have a good punchline of bars throughout the songs?
to me, that's one of the most important things. Yeah. I mean, I got a lot of friends, they listen to heavy metal, and they even tell me, like, they don't even read the lyrics.
Nope.
I'm the exact opposite. I get, like, deeply involved. I want to know what it is. So, like, I'll, like, read lyrics before I even buy the album, like, a lot of, like, metal and stuff like that.
Okay.
So for me, the punchlines, I love the fact that sometimes I have to rewind songs and be like, yo, what the heck did he just say?
Yeah, that's a great thing.
You know?
And you got to read times, catch it.
Yeah. And I mean, like, that's where your personality is going to come out. Like, otherwise it just sounds like washed up, like watered down everything. I'll give you an example, kind of. So I was in prison. I was on the government computer. Look, it is what it is.
Don't incriminate.
I was listening to My Club, Canibus My Club on the government computer.
I got you.
They didn't block the website, so I'm assuming it was okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like listening to that, right? And I got inmates coming up and they're like listening to it and stuff like that. And they were like, oh shit, you know, like, so I don't know how you are with language on this, sorry.
You good.
But yeah, so they were like, yo, check this other guy out, man. So like some name, I don't remember. And I listened to this one and they were like, yeah, he's like top 5 in the industry right now or whatever. And I'm like, yo, this sucks. Like, I don't remember who it was. Probably for a good reason.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I was like,
if
yo,
your ear is all lyrics and bars and all that, you're probably not liking a lot of the stuff that's out there right now because it's more about melodies, and they still have bars, but it's just delivered in a different manner than your ear is, accustomed to hearing.
right, right. And I'm not trying to crap on anybody. Look, there's different genres. Let's say rock and roll.
Yeah.
You got rock and roll, you got hard rock, you got heavy metal, thrash metal, death metal, like grindcore, all that stuff. In hip hop, you're gonna have the same kinds of things.
Yeah.
What I would say, like, I'm not gonna say like I'm on Canibus's level, but I'm in that genre.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a subgenre of hip hop. I always call it hip hop, hardcore hip hop for the unwashed masses. That's what I like to call it.
Saw that about it. That was kind of interesting. How'd you come up with the catchphrase? Like, what does that mean when you said that?
All right, so here's how I came up with it. I always have to give credit when credit is due.
Nope.
In 2000, I go through phases of obsession.
Okay.
In 2012 to like 2016, I was obsessed with WWE.
Okay.
I was a shareholder, everything.
Nope.
Yeah. So my favorite wrestlers were CM Punk, and then this other dude, his name was Damian Sandow.
Yeah.
He was my favorite guy. They did him dirty. So so Damian Sandow, he said he was the intellectual savior of the unwashed masses. And so like I was like, what the heck is unwashed masses? It actually means like the main like majority of like the populace.
Right, right.
And so like I call it hardcore hip hop for the unwashed masses, because like this stuff can actually like elevate you.
With you being a fan of wrestling, I mean, I think for me, there's a gap for people that target wrestlers, like give them theme music or give them entrance music, and like getting involved. Have you ever thought about, involving with some local wrestling programs out your way, the independent scene, or, reaching out to WWE and them to, do something like that?
What? I have not thought about like doing it like that, but I have a tab open on my phone of a local wrestling promotion that I just didn't have the time to check out yet. Some guy at GNC was telling me because I was wearing Dean Ambrose sweatpants that I had from like 2016.
And because you can do punchlines, so you got punchlines, and maybe not make them so fast, but just slowly deliver a couple punchlines about that wrestler. Like watch their moves, what's their moveset, what's their trash talking style, and then give them a song. Imagine they got 30 wrestlers on the program, you pay $100. Like it's a good way to make some money real quickly, and all those people know your name. So just an idea for you. I know you met when you did Canibus, you said you guys had a lot in common. You actually are a U.S. Army as well, so salute you on that.
Thank you.
Being an artist coming out of the military, like there's not a lot of people who come from military to get into the entertainment field. So how has it been for you making that kind of transition?
Well, it's been great because I have a support system in the industry right now, like Darren Skeeth, aka Crumbzilla.
Yeah.
He's also a rapper, and he came out of the Army too. He was a Cav Scout.
Okay.
So like he and I are very relatable people. Yeah. And so like he's like walking me through it and like talking me through it and stuff like that. And so to have that kind of support system that M-Eighty brought in is amazing.
Yeah. Now, definitely, that's one thing I like about your situation. You jumped into the game, all no holds bar. You didn't hesitate, and luckily you met M-Eighty. So you're not meeting no sharks. You're not meeting no people trying to say they can do. Like he really does it for a major scale. So you're getting a great game plan. November 11th, Veterans Day. You're dropping bars behind bars. So what's it like being an Army veteran, and now you're dropping your first song, first EP officially on Veterans Day?
Oh, it means a lot to me. So here's what happened. I'm actually on like VA disability.
Okay.
I got problems that no one really knows how they came around. I used to be 6'3". Now I'm barely 6 foot.
Wow.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm like over 6 foot, but under 6'1". I mean.
I got you.
And so like a lot of like spine problems developed, scoliosis, degenerative discs. I have arthritis in there. And then, like, on top of that, like, prior to the Army, I used to compete in Taekwondo tournaments. And then, like, before that, I was, I was, like, really good at skateboarding. I was, like, pretty freaking good, man. So the thing is, like, all this physical stuff, like, dude, I was very talented. I can't do that anymore. I got out of the Army 14 years
Yeah.
because I couldn't really stand in the ammo shack and reload ammunition the way they wanted to.
Yep.
So when I was telling M-Eighty and them, I was like, look, me doing this is my way of showing the world I still got some fight left in me. So
Okay.
I come out swinging,
Yeah.
swinging on like all my songs. I haven't done anything that was below like 85 beats per minute. Usually I'm in the 90 to 95. Canibus and I were at 96. Fasten your seatbelts at 138. That's a little bit much for me, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
It's a little
But
fast.
like everything is just swinging. I am lashing out at the world on this music. Bars behind bars, Veterans Day, 6 tracks. Only one of them has a chorus. Over 490 bars. It's crazy.
So do you have any kind of, are we playing off of the Veterans Day anyway with your merchandise you're dropping, like shirts or any? I know Eddie's a beast at creating those.
Yep.
So what's your merch plan so fans can, you know, support you, tie it into the veterans, maybe give some money to the proceeds to them. You'll get a lot of free publicity that way. So you got anything, merch and stuff like that?
It's all being designed and worked on now. I'm a little bit behind. This is my first time. I'm new. I have a great support system, but we're focusing on the music because I feel like that's like my main priority. All that stuff is gonna come, and I want to make all veterans proud.
That's dope.
I really do.
Like
I got that song on there, Sick Kicks, man, where I just come out the gate, talk about Afghanistan. Sorry, go ahead. You had a question?
That's what I was going to get to next. Like you took that bold stance we talked about before. Are you ever hesitant about some of your stuff you're saying because you're taking on some controversial topics? You're talking about Afghanistan. A lot of people, you know, it's a hot button issue, so people stayed away from it. What made you decide to take that stand, do that song? And then what was the response you got from people who support you and, you know, want to see you win? You know, did anybody have any kind of concerns or anything?
Nobody expressed any kind of concerns to me. I did send it to one guy, and then he never talked to me again.
Okay.
So like these are guys from my unit that I deployed with and worked with for years. Yeah. So the whole thing with Afghanistan, when I was in Afghanistan, it was 2017, and it did not take long for me to realize that everything we're doing over there is like a waste of time and just like doesn't matter. Like whatever it is that we're trying to do or say we're trying to do is either not working, we're not getting cooperation, there's a lot of corruption here and there. I can't go into all of it. And it was just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, we have, this is a very personal issue for me. On top of that, the withdrawal from Afghanistan that happened recently, or I'm watching everything. Well, I've tried so hard, man. When they were launching rockets at us, and we're going and doing things to like in like austere conditions and whatever. Yeah, man, watching that like broke my soul. Yeah, and so I don't even really watch like the news anymore. On top of that, my wife is in Pakistan.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
she's a Pakistani national. We've been waiting on this immigration, so we was filed in 2020. Oh man, so we got married in Malaysia in February of 2020.
Okay.
But because we were foreigners and Christians, we had to wait 30 days in order for us to get our marriage certificate from there.
Wow.
Yeah. In that 30-day period, COVID shut everything down, so we were stuck there for 3.5 months, man. Yeah, so then we came back, we filed for the immigration. And so anyway, when they withdrew from Afghanistan, a lot of the refugees pushed into bordering nations, and Pakistan's one of them. And then they were the ones, from what my lawyer told me, they were the ones, the Afghan refugees got priority in the immigration services. So my wife's got pushed back because of that, because it was so effed up. So that's a very personal issue for me.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, everybody listen to this song, Afghanistan. As you can see, it's a harsh. He hits on some topics, so salute to that. Let's get to some more positive stuff. You're dropping your first project on November 11th. You know, what's the plan after that? You're in Kansas City. Shout out to my homie Knox Bond out there. Are you doing anything in the city out there? Are you hitting the road? Like, what's the game plan to push this music on your end to make sure more people hear it?
Yeah, so I will do shows, you know, whatever, with whoever. There's some promoters over here. One of them is my friend's cousin, I think.
Dope.
And I haven't got in touch with them yet. I know, Crumbzilla, he's been pushing me to. But I haven't got in touch with them yet because I just want to make sure that everything goes smoothly. with this release, and then like, because I'm really interested in like feedback and stuff like that, because if I don't get like positive, I don't know. All right, so let me say this, man. Here's the truth. I'm going to give you some information that's going to allow you to manipulate me, but I'm going to try to resist. So in me and my wife's marriage counseling, we always do that. You know, we had to do that before we actually like got married.
Gotcha.
We took this thing called the 5 love languages.
Gotcha. Yep.
Mine is words of affirmation, like
you're
giving me compliments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I just want to get a few compliments, man, before I actually like hit the road and like put myself out on stage and do all that. I don't know.
Yeah.
M-Eighty's probably gonna kick me in the ass because I said that. Whatever. We'll see what happens.
Good on that. What you do need to like, don't wait. If somebody, let me say this the right way. If somebody tells you to call somebody, don't wait to call them because they're telling you to call them because at the stage you are in that moment, that person you're calling can help you. So something that you're struggling to get done or you can't do yourself because you're so busy with other stuff, that's why somebody's saying, hey, call my dude real quick. You know what I mean? And if he's a promoter in your city, you want affirmations, you want confirmations. The best way to do that is get a chance to start performing on some of the events they got going so that promoter can tap you in real quickly. Like you are skipping over a lot of the struggles independent artists have because you have your team you have. So make sure you listen to them because they're going to make sure you're not going and doing open mics with 5 people in the club. They're going to take you where the club has 500 people and they're all there for the next talent. Let's get into the Kansas City music scene a little bit. Like a lot of people know Tech Nine, salute to him and all he's accomplished. But for you being from Kansas, what's the music scene out there like that? And, you know, how are you looking forward to helping put your city on the map?
Yeah, so we got some other rappers that are pretty prominent in the area that aren't as well known as Tech Nine.
Yeah.
One of them's Rich the Factor.
Okay.
Another one is D-Lock the Chop. I want to do a song with him.
Dope.
I hope he reaches out to me because we actually have to like go over something first. It's complicated.
Got you. Yeah.
So yeah, D-Lock the Chop. Love to work with him.
Okay. Are you planning to go outside of your market, traveling to any DJ conferences, music events? Like they're all over the country right now, meeting with DJs and stuff. Is that something you're thinking about doing, or you want to just stay in Kansas and really establish your brand there first before you start venturing out?
Yeah. So the thing is, like, I personally want to like stay in Kansas, establish myself before I branch out. That's what makes sense to me. But I'm just gonna do whatever M-Eighty and Crumbzilla tell me to do.
Yeah.
Like. That's all I gotta do.
Now, last thing before we get out of here, if somebody wants to contact you, DJs want to connect for DJ drops or anything like that, artists want to collaborate, what's the best way to contact you? Not just on Instagram, but email or anything like that, so they can reach out to you. And when they reach out to you, what do they need to have ready, or what are you looking for from them before you want to collaborate?
Yeah, so you can reach me on Instagram, Rorshax Music, Twitter, Rorshax Music, Facebook, Rorshax Music. You can hit me on my email, rorshaxmusic@protonmail.com. Just have who, what, where, when, why, how, clean and simple, and we'll see what we can do.
Definitely. And the last thing, man, go ahead and give your shout outs for the people who supported you, your DJs that are playing the record, and anybody else, and we'll go ahead and let you get out of here.
Oh, yeah, so it's going off of Rebel Distro. Shout out to them. Shout out to M-Eighty, Crumbzilla. He got Roger That Records. I'm sporting it. This is my favorite hoodie now. Very comfortable. Let's see, Neil Simpson from Simpson Sound Lab for putting up with me. He was the guy who recorded all my stuff, mixed it, and mastered it.
That's an important. Yeah, you got to shout out there. People forget that.
Yeah, everybody, man. Canibus, everybody that's just been so good to me in the industry. Lance Rawlings for supporting me, even though he had no reason to. Yeah. So
and then you mentioned the 50 track. You got a video coming, so please get that to me before you drop it. We can do a little snippet and that for you to help build that buzz. And then we dropping it on November 11th, everybody. So make sure you tune in. It's a lot of bars, as he stated, a lot of high caliber lyricism. So definitely support it. So appreciate the time tonight, and you have a good night.
Hey, thank you so much. Take care.
Salute.
Bye.